In the last episode, we traveled through the history of browser wars, from Internet Explorer's dominance to Chrome's takeover, and how all of that shaped the way marketers like us reach people online. But that was the past. Today, we are talking about the future that's already happening. We are diving into Browser War 2, and this one's different. This time, the battlefield isn't about speed or features in the traditional sense. It's about intelligence. It's about browsers that think, understand, and anticipate. And the implications for marketing? They are massive. So let's jump in. So, when did browsers become smart? It's hard to point at the timeline, but pretty much around the time when browsers started to have intelligent caching strategies for better web experience. Google Chrome led the charge, which makes sense given that Google is, well, Google. They started weaving AI into Chrome in subtle ways. Autocomplete got smarter. Your address bar started predicting not just URLs you had visited, but sites you might want to visit based on patterns. Chrome started grouping tabs intelligently. It could suggest when to close tabs when you weren't using them. The built in translation feature got better and better. These seem like small things, right? But each one represented Chrome learning about you, understanding your behavior, and trying to help. Other browsers followed suit. Firefox introduced features to block tracking while using machine learning to recommend articles. Safari started using on device intelligence to improve password management and prevent tracking. But these were all incremental. Gradually, browsers had these little AI helpers living in the background that helped them become smart. With AI taking over the web, we are now witnessing a new generation of AI native browsers. Right now, the two browsers that are currently making waves are Dia and Perplexity's Comet. I talked about how Dia could change marketing in an earlier episode. I'll drop link in the description. DI is fascinating. I've been using it myself for a while now. It's positioning itself as an AI first browser where the AI isn't just a feature, it's the core experience. DIA has this concept called skills, which we'll dive deeper into later, but essentially it's trying to make the browser actively helpful rather than passively displaying information. Then there's Perplexity, which many of you might know as an AI search engine. They launched Comet, a browser built around their conversational AI search experience. Instead of typing keywords into a search bar and getting 10 blue links, you are having a conversation with AI that helps you find and understand information. Now, these aren't the only AI powered browsers emerging. Opera has launched its own AI browser called Neon, or Sigma OS with its AI assisted productivity features. The space is getting crowded very fast, and that's exactly what makes this browser war 2. We are so back to that early 2000s energy where new contenders are challenging the leaders with fundamentally different approaches. These smart browsers aren't adding just AI features. They're creating entirely new ways for users to interact with the web. And three approaches stand out: Dia's skills, Comet's shortcuts, and Opera Neon's cards. These browsers are using AI to solve the same problems people grapple with on a day to day basis when accessing the web. But their approaches are quite different. Dia's skills are basically AI shortcuts for workflows you repeat over and over. Think of them as specialized AI capabilities you can invoke with a simple command. What makes them interesting is the community aspect. There's a gallery where users can discover, use, and even remix skills that others have created. So you might use a skill for summarizing articles, another for generating code, another for comparing products. You can trigger them automatically based on context or manually with slash commands like slash summarize or slash compare. I'm sure the DIA team aims to turn their skills gallery into a marketplace in future. Comet's shortcuts takes a different approach. These are all about automation, building custom commands without writing any code. You save them as stickies in your browser and trigger them with a slash command like slash daily brief. The focus here is on eliminating those repetitive multi step tasks. Instead of manually searching, clicking, copying, pasting, you create a shortcut that does it all in one go. It's very similar to DS skills, but slightly different. Then there's Opera Neon's cards, which is probably the most creative take. Cards are reusable prompt instructions that work like power ups in a card game. You can combine them for more complex operations. They integrate with Opera's contextual workspace system, working across both conversational chat and agentic actions. It's like building your own deck of AI behaviors. Now, what's fascinating is that while they all use different metaphors, skills, shortcuts, cards, they're all moving towards the same future. Browsers that don't just show you information but actively help you accomplish things. And from a marketing perspective, this is simultaneously exciting and terrifying. Exciting because if your brand can integrate with these systems, you're not just hoping someone finds you through search. You are being recommended by a trusted AI assistant at the exact moment of intent. Terrifying because if you're not integrated, you might become invisible. If the AI doesn't recommend you, do you even exist to that customer? I think it's important for marketers to understand this better. With Dia's skills and their community gallery, you could create branded skills that users actually want to adopt. Say you're working with a financial services company. You could develop a budget analyzer skill that helps users understand their spending patterns. They are using your tool, getting value, and your brand becomes part of their daily workflow. With Comet's shortcuts, the question becomes, is your website automation friendly? If someone creates a shortcut to compare prices or check inventory, can it easily pull information from your website? Being shortcut compatible could become as important as being mobile responsive. And with Opera Neon's cards, there's this game like collectible quality. What if brands could offer specialized cards that enhance user workflows? A travel brand might offer a trip planning card. A restaurant or an ingredient brand might offer a meal prep card. Users would actively seek out and combine these branded cards because they make their lives easier. Each of these approaches are interesting in their own way because they reflect different philosophies about how AI should help us browse the web. And we don't know yet which one users will prefer. Will they want Dia's community driven shareable skills? Comet's straightforward automation shortcuts? Opera's combinable strategic cards? Or something else entirely? As marketers, what this means is that we might need to optimize for all of them, at least until a winner emerges. It's important to understand how the fundamentals of digital marketing are shifting. What that means is that your SEO approach will shift. Instead of optimizing for search rankings, you might need to optimize for AI recommendations. You may need to A B test your SEO approach to figure out how you can make your brand recommendable to an algorithm that's synthesizing information on behalf of users. That's already happening, right? People have been doing it now. Content marketing is shifting dramatically. If AI is summarizing and synthesizing content, why should people even visit your website? Do they read your carefully crafted blog posts? Or do they use the AI just to extract the key points and move on? And ad placement becomes what exactly? In a browser where AI is proactively helping you accomplish tasks, where do ads fit? How do you sponsor an AI recommended result without undermining trust? There's already enough confusion about placement of ads in AI recommendations. I'll drop a link to that episode in the description too. Customer journey tracking gets complicated. If AI is handling multiple steps on behalf of users, comparing options, filling out forms, even making purchases, how do you track and understand that journey? Can your future marketing strategies take AI driven actions on behalf of the user on face value? These are serious challenges that marketers are facing and will increasingly face in the coming months and years. Okay, so we understand what these AI browsers are doing currently. This gives us a glimpse into what more they can do. But these features are simply a version of what we all know AI can do today. Even if these are half baked, I think that these AI features have been designed to build a loyal base to become the next leading browser. These AI browsers are quite likely building base for the more next gen bleeding edge tech. Let's look at some of the cutting edge tech that might become part of AI browsers and also see how they can help us market better. Spatial computing and AR VR integration is one. Apple's Vision Pro is already hinting at this. Browsing the web in three dimensional space is already possible. WebXR or web based extended reality could turn browsers into portals for augmented and virtual reality experiences, displaying products as holograms which you can examine from every angle, or virtual stores which feel like actual stores. For marketers, this creates opportunities for immersive brand experiences that blur the line between digital and physical. Blockchain and decentralized tech will quite likely gain ground. There are experimental browsers built on blockchain technology that could give users complete control over their data and identity. Platforms like Blue Sky, which have been built on decentralized tech, are already quite popular. The question is this: in a world where users literally own their browsing data and can choose who to share it with, how does advertising work? It's a fundamental shift in digital advertising and dynamics where user has control over data. For marketers, this could mean paying users directly through offers or deals for their attention and data, creating more transparent and equitable relationships. This one's a bit too far out, but I think it has potential. Brain computer interfaces built by companies like Neuralink could help you browse the web with your thoughts. The point to note here is that if intent could be captured at the speed of thinking, the implications are mind bending. Marketing would need to work at the speed of thought. Quantum computing integration is another such tech. It could enable real time simulation and modeling within browsers. A car manufacturer could let customers experience different weather conditions, road types, and driving scenarios in real time through their browser, creating incredibly sophisticated virtual test drives. Advanced biometric integration could allow browsers to understand not just what you're looking at, but how you are feeling about it. At some point in future, your browser might detect stress, excitement, or confusion through your device's cameras and sensors and adapt the browsing experience accordingly. I recently read about ambient computing, which might completely reimagine the browser as we know it. I think I made an episode on that as well. It might not even be a window, but an ambient layer over your entire life, maybe through a wearable like smart glasses. Information flowing to you contextually based on where you are and what you're doing, what you might need. In that world, browsing as a distinct activity might not even exist. That's contextual marketing on steroids and an almost utopian world for marketers. It's hard to say which of these, if any of these tech, will get integrated into smart browsers. Some of these might be 5 years away, some might be 15, and some might never happen at all. But here's why they matter. Every single major shift in how people access information has forced marketers to completely reinvent their approach. When we moved from print to TV, everything changed. When we moved from TV to websites and social media, everything changed again. We moved from desktop to mobile and it changed everything. These AI browsers are the next shift. And some of these other technologies, those could be the shifts after that. So, bringing this all back down to 2025, what should you as a marketer actually do with all this information? Stay curious and experimental for one. You don't need to bet the farm on AI browsers tomorrow, but you should be testing them. Play with Perplexity Comet. Check out what DI is doing. See how ARC organizes information. Understand these interfaces because your customers are starting to use them. Focus more on AI discoverability. Just like you invested in SEO, start investing in understanding how AI systems discover and recommend content. Make your information AI readable. Structure your content so AI can understand and synthesize it. This might mean schema markup, clear data structures, and focusing on genuinely informative content. Spend time on building direct relationships with your customers. In a world where AI intermediates more and more interactions, direct relationships with customers become even more valuable. Email lists, community building, loyalty programs, these matter more than ever because they bypass the AI middleman. Prioritize transparency and trust. As AI systems require more data to be helpful, privacy and trust become competitive advantages. Be clear about data usage. Give users control. The brands that are trustworthy enough to be integrated into AI assistants will win. And I think most importantly, accept that this is going to be uncomfortable. The rules are changing. Things that worked for the last 10 years might not work for the next 10. That's unsettling. But it's also what makes marketing exciting, right? We are not just following a playbook, we are writing new ones. I want to leave you with one thought. Throughout these browser wars, across all these technological shifts, one thing has remained constant. People are still people. They still have needs, desires, problems to solve. They still respond to authenticity, value, and genuine connection. More so today than before. The medium changes, the tools evolve, but good and relevant marketing is still and will always be about understanding people and helping them. So, yes, learn about AI browsers, experiment with new technologies, stay on the cutting edge, but don't forget the basics. Don't lose sight of the humans on the other side of the screen, or the spatial computing interface, or the brain computer interface, or whatever comes next. Thanks for joining me on this two-part journey through the browser wars. Until next time, stay curious and keep marketing.